In today's episode, we're going to talk about how long it takes to get into good shape. What's up, guys? It's Anthony from AB Fitness Center, where we help you to lose body fat, gain muscle, and get stronger. All right, guys, so that's what we're going to talk about today, how long does it take to actually get into good shape. But before we do that, I want you to hit that subscribe button. This way you get real fitness advice without the fluff. We're gonna get right into it, no BS along the way. And today's topic actually came to me from Instagram. So if you guys have any questions, make sure you follow me on Instagram at AB Fitness. And if you have a question, just message me and hopefully I'll be able to answer it on here for you. So how long does it take to get into good shape? People ask me this question all the time. They come into the gym, they see everyone's results, and they, well, how long is it gonna take for me to get in good shape? So I kind of laid it out here in a little bit of a process to kind of give you an idea of how long it's actually gonna take. And I should preface this video by saying, it depends. Every person is different. Every person is gonna comply, understanding the fitness lifestyle in a different way. So some people, it may take 6 months for them just to finally pick up and understand how to track macros and how to count calories. It could take them 6 months. Other people, it could take a week. I've gotten on the phone with people after 7 days and they've completely understood the whole process. I've got on the phone with people 6 months later and they still don't understand it quite yet. And that's okay, because everybody's a little bit different when it comes to actually getting results, what's gonna work, what's not. So you gotta be a little bit flexible with it. But in today, what I'm gonna explain to you, the process that I'm gonna explain to you today, is basically someone who will take action on everything that we get, and it's kind of like an average timeline, just based on all of my years of experience, how long it's gonna actually take someone to get into good shape, quote unquote. And I guess we actually should talk about that too, because in good shape could mean anything for anybody, right? So for me, getting in good shape is getting sub 10% body fat. For someone else, it may be getting, below 10%, or below 20%. So that in good shape is not a definitive term. So that's all relative to you and your goals. So whatever your goals are, that's what we have to focus on, and that's what we're gonna look at, okay? So let's start with this. The first 1 to 3 months of your fitness journey, basically what happens during the first month, we're laying down that foundation. We're laying down that brickwork to build the giant mansion on. And typically within the first 1 to 3 months, it's gonna be, and I'm talking about someone who's brand new to fitness. So you're gonna come into the gym, you're gonna work out a couple times, you're gonna be really, really sore. During the first 1 to 3 months, like I said, we're trying to build that foundation. So during that time, you're actually gonna be gaining strength and you're gonna be gaining endurance. Okay, you're basically learning the movements. You're gonna be understanding what you need to do to get into shape. You're gonna understand what a squat is, understand a deadlift, a bench press, all those movements that are gonna change your body. You're basically just learning them, right? So you're gonna learn and develop that form and that proper technique for you, because again, every person's different. Every person squats a little bit differently. So you gotta look at your form and you're gonna be focusing on what's working best for you in the gym and just understanding what's going on, the process, right? So that's what happens. Usually within the first 1 to 3 months, you lose typically some water weight. You'll start to diet a little bit, a little less cheating here and there, a little less, not understanding the nutrition, so a little less. So you'll drop typically anywhere, again, every person's different, but anywhere between 2 and 12 pounds of water and a little bit of fat mixed in there. Just, again, you're still learning. We're greasing the groove here. We're understanding the movements. You're still learning, okay? You're learning to understand the process of nutrition, okay? You're understanding the basics of nutrition, protein, carbs, fats, how many calories you need in a day, what macronutrients are what, how many grams of protein are in 4 ounces of chicken, how many grams of protein do I need to finish out my day. These are all things that you're gonna be learning in the beginning. Also in the beginning, you're gonna be making a lot of mistakes. Between that 1 and 3 month mark, you're gonna be making a lot of nutritional mistakes. You're gonna think that the first week, I'll never forget, like the first couple times I've dieted and I've, just trying to understand the process, how many mistakes I made, and like, I thought I was doing really good, and then a couple weeks later, I'm like, wow, I was doing everything wrong. So you gotta go through that process and expect mistakes. It's never gonna be perfect. But when you expect the mistakes, it's good because you're still learning, and you gotta kind of understand that going into it. Like, okay, I'm gonna make mistakes in this, but it's going to help me learn for the long haul. And that's exactly what it is. That's how you got to look at it. So typically that's like the 1 to 3 month mark. It's all about greasing the groove when it comes to your exercise selection, getting into the gym, just understanding the movements and things like that, getting out that kind of like initial soreness. Because let me tell you, your first, 1 to 3 weeks in the gym, especially like I said, for a total newbie, you're going to be crippled. You're going to be crippled. It's normal to get it hurts to get up and down off the toilet. I actually kind of miss being that sore. After a while, you don't get sore like that anymore. I kind of miss that feeling. But yeah, that's what you're kind of expecting during the first 1 to 3 months. And then nutrition-wise, it's just about learning the process, understanding different foods and what's a protein, what's a carb, what's a fat. Some people think that peanut butter is consistent just because it has protein in it, that think it's just a protein. People think that beans are also, just because they have protein, they're considered oh, that's protein, it's beans. Well, yeah, it has protein in it, but not enough that you're probably going to need to get to your results. So that's what's going to happen in the 1 to 3 month mark. All right, so let's move on. So now the 3 to 6 month mark, we're really going to be building on that base of strength. So again, understanding those movements like the squats, the deadlifts, the bench press, but now you're going to be getting stronger in those movements. You're going to be doing a little bit more weight than you did last time. It's going to be a little bit easier in the sense that, okay, now you know when you pick up the bar, for instance, when you're squatting, you know exactly where your feet should go, you know exactly where you should be looking, and it's just about fine-tuning the movements at that point. But typically that's what happens during this phase. You start building a little bit more strength, your endurance is better, you're not as winded during workouts. But one of the most important things during this time is you start to learn the mind-muscle connection. So what's the mind-muscle connection? So the mind-muscle connection basically means the connection from my mind to the muscle that I'm training. So I know when I curl my bicep and I'm squeezing, I know how to squeeze and I feel my muscles actually work. And I talked about this in a lot of other videos too. You don't just want to pick the weight up from point A to point B unless you're a powerlifter. That's your goal, that's what you have to do. But if you're trying to change the way your body looks, you have to make sure that you have a good mind to muscle connection and you actually feel those muscles working. So if you're doing a lat pull down, you want to make sure that you're squeezing your back muscles nice and tight at the bottom. Like I'm doing that right now and I feel a huge contraction and like a cramp in my lats on both sides when I do that. So you have to develop that mind-muscle connection, and that will take a little bit more time, but now you're going to start to actually feel those areas working more so in that 3 to 6 month mark. You're going to also be losing more body fat during this time. So remember, in 1 pound of body fat contains 3,500 calories. That's a lot. That's a lot of stored calories. So it takes a little time to start chipping into the body fat. But at this point in the 3 to 6 month mark, you're really going to be chipping away at that body fat because now you know how the nutrition works, you know how many calories you need, how much protein, and you've just been doing it day in and day out. You're making less mistakes and you're really going to start chipping away at that nutrition part of it. So you're going to lose definitely more body fat during that 3 to 6 month mark. And again, I've seen people totally transform their body by the 6 month mark. Again, like I told you, this is just totally generic outline of the average is what I've seen over time. Also, what I've noticed that during the 3 to 6 month mark, you're also going to make less mistakes. All right. Now you're understanding the nutrition. Like I said, if you look back at month 1, you realize, okay, wow, I was doing everything wrong. Now I'm still learning. I'm still doing better. So you're going to make a lot less mistakes with the nutrition, which is going to lead to more chipping away at that body fat. All right. And now month 9 through 12. Okay, typically people think that they get to the year mark. It's like, okay, I'm done. I was in fitness for a year. I got in good shape. I'm all done. So typically at this point, it becomes a habit. Now, everything that you've done, the foundation of nutrition, the foundation of exercise, it has become a habit. It's become something that's kind of ingrained in you and something that you're looking forward to actually doing at this point. People definitely will start noticing your results at this point because, again, now you've been dieting for a little bit of time, you've been chipping away at the body fat, and you should be significantly leaner at this point. So people start to notice a little bit more. You'll actually, at this point, because you've actually gotten some results, you'll actually find the diet will get a little bit harder. And it will get a little bit harder in the sense that now, because you think that you've gotten results, you kind of think you can go back to your old ways. And that is further from the truth. Remember, what got you there in the past was what we're trying to avoid going forward. So it becomes hard at this point. People are giving you more compliments. People are noticing that you've made results. So now you start to think, oh, it's okay. I could cheat a little bit here. I could have a little bit of this, a little bit of that. It's okay. I could fit it into my day. And you end up start overeating. So you got to be careful at this point, because you could find yourself, okay, I got really good results, and then find yourself in a downward spiral back to day one. All right, so you got to be careful with that. You're going to be hitting new limits in the gym. You're going to be hitting new records in the gym. You're going to be smashing records. You're going to be doing weight that you haven't done before, and you're actually going to be feeling your body work in places that you probably didn't even know existed. So all good things when it comes to that. And the working out, it's not easier, but it's a little bit more manageable in that you know what to expect when you go in. You know exactly what to do. You know where it's going to hurt the next day, where it's not going to hurt. So that's typically like the month 9 to 12 mark. Now let's talk about the 12 month on. Welcome to fitness. So after you hit that 1 year mark, you have been indoctrinated into the fitness community. You are now a gym rat. Congratulations. You've established that you've been a gym rat for a year. But let me tell you something, this is where it just starts. I've covered so many other videos on this. The hardest workout I ever did is the one that I did yesterday, because I've been doing this for over 20 years at this point, and it doesn't get any easier. It gets boring, but you gotta be happy with doing the boring work, because the boring work will result in the body that you want. Okay? So hopefully that video helped you. I hope this was a good one, just to kind of summarize that first year of training for someone, because again, that's going to be the most important thing. I've also made a video here, and you can subscribe there. I think it's in that order. But these other videos will definitely help you along the way. And again, if you guys have any other questions, make sure you follow me on Instagram and leave me a message there. And make sure you share this video with someone else who needs to hear it, okay? Well, let's try to get the good word out there without the fluff. All right, guys, I'll catch you on the next one.